Hey everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. But before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to my newest patron, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan, for jumping on board, supporting the channel. And huge shout out to all of my patrons. You're all amazing. It's awesome. It's awesome hanging out with you all. I think we have such a lovely community, and I just want to say thanks for supporting the channel and helping me pay my bills. Super appreciated. So let's get into the week. I just wanted to do a quick check-in from Kalypso. We did Kalypso last week, and it's finishing up. 2 hours to go. Look at that. And a lot of people in my Discord were saying that the co-op version has been getting better reception than the competitive version. Often I just check out the competitive version for me personally, and just the fact, like, I pay attention to what you guys are excited about and interested in, and the fact that the co-op version is getting a lot more interest than the competitive version, if you're interested in that sort of co-op tile laying game. Again, for me, I think it just looks like a larger, more involved Life of Runeterra, which might be good, but I don't know. I find when games are like, hey, we're going to give you a new version for every game, I expect all versions to be good. And if the competitive version isn't at the same level as the co-op version, why is it even in the game to begin with? That's kind of what I find. But yeah, I just want to check on that, and just say, listen, I gave it a meh. And that was just specifically for the competitive version, which is the thing that I was mainly looking at. So maybe the co-op version's good. I don't know. But we'll move on. We're moving on to the first one of this week. We have the Garden Trilogy, Paradise of Dinosaurs, Birds, and Fish. We have the Aqua Garden, the Sky Garden, and the Dino Garden. I think I've looked in Aqua Garden before and been slightly underwhelmed. But wow, this has raised a lot of money. This is over $1 million Canadian. Holy moly. I know that there's some buzz around it, so I guess let's give it a look. I don't know why you would ever need all three, because I imagine they're going to be pretty similar to each other. But this makes sense. Uchibakoya has been getting a lot of notoriety, I think, in the crowdfunding space. I think they produced a couple pretty big ones, Ostia and Sweetlands, which I have been interested in both of them. I remember Aqua Garden, and I remember it from way back and being like, meh. But we'll see. I'll take another look at this and see what Sky Garden and Dino Garden are adding to the mix as well. $50 for each one of them, actually 53 and 56, where you can get a bundle of them all. The majority of backers getting in on the Sky and Dino Garden an expansion bundle. I guess they already have Aqua Garden and they're return customers, so that's a positive thing. I think a lot of the draw here is the exciting minis, or the exciting meeples that you get, because I think the flow of the game is pretty simple. All right, here's the base system in their how to play, and then we'll look through some of the rule books as well. The player farthest behind on the main track takes their turn, so very much like Parks or Tokaido or Patchwork. On your turn, you can advance your owner token as far as you like and collect a creature token from the space that you land on. It's tempting to get the creature token you want, but be careful not to advance too far, as this allows your opponents to take more turns. This has never been an interesting mechanism for me. I find more often than not, it leaves you with one choice. Maybe two choices, but often one choice, you know? So that's, I think, what has always turned me off about it. You gain fish, you place them in your aquarium, so you're grouping these things together in different set collections. Now, the potential here is that everything combos in a different way, and if you're doing in a number of aquariums in a number of different sections of the aquarium, you have ways to make other tokens more valuable for you or not. You want to make an aquarium that's more beautiful than anything else. So in this, you want to gain birds, form pairs, help with egg laying, and achieve milestones. That's the new twists on Sky Garden. Make a pair of the same bird and prepare a nest to help them lay an egg. And then for the dinosaurs, you're producing meat, you're delivering the meat, and you're playing bonus cards, is what they're saying as the differences. Again, just managing that food chain. There will be restrictions upon how you cluster things together, but they're all dealing with that idea of clustering things together. Do you need 3 versions of that? I don't think so. There's a slight variation here where you can't place these fish wherever you want. There's another little track that you have an employee that's going around the tanks, but it feels, I don't know, you just can't put it in the same tank as you did the last one. So again, thinking ahead of where you're going to be. I remember reading through this the first time. There are additional fish you can purchase, you can be gaining funds, etc. But most of it revolves around grabbing fish on the path. And then there's a way to get funds based around the number of fish that you have. Yeah, 3 victory points for each set of small fish and large fish in the same tank, and then just points for all of the sharks and seahorses and the same. The scoring doesn't seem interesting to me. In a 2-player game, you have to use a dummy player. I don't know. Like, is there something that's interesting about the Dino version. Each dinosaur has a certain size, so you can't exceed the size. I think there was a chart like that in the first one. I've already forgotten. I love how the placement rules, you don't have to separate herbivores and carnivores. No? I like the shift here that they're tokens for advertising or whatever. That I think in the other ones, they were specific advertising spaces, and that can shift up where the advertising opportunities can be. That feels like a very minimal change to me. I was expecting some sort of thing about using your herbivores to feed your other. Oh, okay, I guess on here. Yeah, they show what herbivores turn into, the type of meat that they turn into, and then they can be eaten by. And the fact that predators may consume, and it's just a track of them eating meat and not like a requirement, also feels very not thematic to me and not what they've been putting forward in the campaign. These don't look good. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal for this trilogy. I don't think any of them look that interesting. I think it's very simple. Oh, I'm on a path. I'll collect random dinosaurs, and a lot of them are worth the same amount of points anyway. So it just is like, I don't know, to pay $68 for one of them plus shipping. 1 to 3, it's gonna be $21 shipping to get to me. Like, I don't think there would be enough variation between the 3 games to warrant having 3 games. I guess if you have Aqua Garden and you like love it, I think the deviations are going to be 10%. It's going to feel like a 10% difference. I don't get the hype behind this one, but if you like any of these, drop out in the comments down below why. For me, I think especially if you haven't resonated with games where you have that path mechanic and that feels like the main mechanism here, you're not going to like it. So if you have my same tastes, ignore it. That finishes Wednesday, October 15th. At 10 a.m. Next up over here is a game called Ultimate Palace card game, the game you've been missing. I hardly think you've been missing it. You can get 2 decks for $18, but essentially you have 3 cards in hand, 3 cards face up, 3 cards face down, and someone's going to play a card in the middle and you got to play a higher card. And if you can't, then you pick up all the cards in the middle. Nothing to worry about here. We're going to move on. Next up, we got King Arthur's Curse. Dark forces stir in Sir Arthur's realm. Can you solve the puzzles, uncover the truth, and save the kingdom? King Arthur's Curse is an escape game with maximum freedom and fun. You can combine any cards, carve your own path, and choose your own ending. The puzzles are logical, the game mechanics are unique, and the stakes couldn't be higher. There's the real escape. They just busted out of the front cover. So this is somebody who's like, yeah, I like the unlock games, but I wanted to be able to combine any 2 cards. I just wanted to do it. I know I wanted puzzles too, but I also just wanted to ignore all those puzzles and combine whatever cards I want. And then he made a game about it. That seems to be what it is. Anything is possible but what you combine. I don't know. Choose your own ending. Other escape games offer 1 possible path, 1 possible ending. In King Arthur's Curse, I've opened this up. You choose your own path and you choose your own ending. Okay, and they give you a little example. Number 1, what if I wanted to combine cards 1 and 19? 19 told me to discard number 1. That's you're not living up to your thing. What are you doing, you cream-faced fop doodle? Stop wagging that pathetic stick of yours. You'll never be a knight, you hear me? You're just a squire, and you'll never be anything more. Now, you only have 2 things to do today. Clean the stables and join the other servants to serve the feast tonight. The banquet starts at sunset, so hurry up, Mumblecrest. Okay, seems we're a squire with big dreams and a few menial tasks to do. So let's go to 63. They're like, yeah, you want to go through? I need today's watchword to grant passage. We need a password. We see no hidden numbers in this card. What about the previous card? There was a 62 on the master's previous card. So there you go. So you can turn over 62, which has got a little poem. I mean, it's clearly 11. It's 11 because they started on the front. It says 11. It was super easy. I'm starting very gently to lure you into a false sense of security. Let's discard and reveal the appropriate cards. You get horses. You get 38. So the way you can combine things, it's like, I want to combine a hammer and a person. Flip them over. Did they combine? No, you can't do it. So it's the exact same thing as an unlock game, but you can have more penalties. I want to hit the horses with a hammer. No, can't do it. Do I feed the horses the carrots? Probably. Yeah, sure. I mean, hey, it's fun enough, I'm sure. It's just a little game. And it's only 20 bucks Canadian. It's 12 euro. So that feels pretty reasonable in terms of the game, except then it's $26 to ship to me in Canada. But if you live somewhere else where shipping's decent and you wanted to get something like this, well, check it out. It's not horrible. That finishes on the 15th at 3 p.m. Moving along, we're not going to do Stakeout because it did a $1 pre-pledge. And oh, look at that. What a surprise. The $1 pre-pledge is a bad marketing tool. Who would have guessed that? I hope you didn't spend the $10,000 package on Launchboom's marketing, because you have earned then basically $0. Let's move on to this one, which I can only assume is going to be bad just by the title, but the Dietz Foundation, Terry Dietz? Oh, Jim Dietz. Don't have to worry. Academia, a game of administrative bloat, a love letter to American universities. I don't know. Let's, okay, I see tracks. Maybe it'll be interesting. This looks quite bad, though. Just, like, the main image seems horrible. I'm intrigued. Dietz Foundation is a registered nonprofit with the mission of helping education in every way possible. Our profits from this game go directly towards funding scholarships for future teachers. Cool. 1 to 4 players compete to build America's most renowned university over the course of 3 cohorts of entering students, played in 2 hours. Get the most prestige. You gain prestige by focusing on academics, student experience, research, athletics. I like that. There's a way of getting objective cards, which seems interesting, where you start with 4 objective cards, and then every round you have to discard 1. A lot of games do this, but at a certain point you have to discard objective cards, but I really like the dwindling idea. My favorite here is that you categorize the students that you get right off the bat. Are they high achieving, or are they low profile? Do they suck, or are they good? I'm so far removed from the world of academia now. I just wonder in terms of its like efficacy still. I guess mainly in like communications fields, or because there are so many different jobs that are popping up that people just kind of throw themselves into. I think the entire board gaming industry are all people who didn't start in the board gaming industry. Like there's no board gaming course at school, right? At least I don't think there is. There's little mini programs and stuff. Like sciences or math, I guess it makes a little bit more sense to me that you're like learning courses. But also compared to like how many bloat courses there are that exist. I don't know. This doesn't look bad though. Like I quite appreciated that video. Essentially what it is you're going to have a bunch of different people who are working at your university. You're going to try to use them as effectively as you can. You're going to be building additional buildings to create a bigger university. Well, the things that kind of attracted me the most was paying money to get in first on the ground floor of certain things, which would give you bonuses. It gives you cheaper actions the earlier you pick them, that style of game. This concept of like using your people and then refreshing them, they said in the video too that that's an important part of the game. Because you won't be able to choose everything. Oh, there's a rulebook. I really wasn't expecting a rulebook here. Nice. Yeah, way to go. Is there any shipping information though? All right, 1 early bird, 1 game, international. So $106. This is Canadians. We promise not to ship UPS, so no surprise broker fees. And then 1 copy of the US that's already been paid with their postage for $85. Because it's going to cost more to go to the US. Or maybe it's less, but there's just the early bird. Yeah, the early bird US copies are all gone at $30, just so that they could hit their funding goal, I guess. Not $30. I do like an all-in thing. And I think, you know, a game about a university where you see your students as nothing more than income sources, yeah. Or in improving the academic reputation of the university, or the athletics reputation of the university. There's a lot about this game that's very funny thematically. I'm quite surprised by this. Yeah, your goal is essentially to boost up your housing capacity, make money for the students that come there, improve the university itself, and get bonuses. Yeah, I think a lot of good stuff happening there. $106, but that includes shipping, and so basically knock off $20 to $30. So $70 feels pretty reasonable. It's going to be a streamlined game, and profits from this game goes directly towards funding scholarships for future teachers. Really nice. I think you're going to get a decent economic game out of it. Nothing flashy, nothing spectacular, but the mechanics behind it seem pretty solid to me. So very surprising, really surprising actually, just based upon like the art and what the main picture of the campaign. This is definitely going to be overlooked by a lot of people, probably everybody. That finishes Thursday, October 16th at 9 a.m. I'm happy they've hit their goal. I clicked on this. It's a print and play roll and write for the spooky monster smashing season. Wait, it's monster smashing season? That's weird. I mean, I know what people dress up as for Halloween. I do know that, but I didn't know all the monsters were smashing as well. From academia to monster smashing, Halloween is here. Wait, are you mashing them or are you smashing them? Yeah, that's cute enough. You have 2 dice of your own color. You assign them to quadrants of areas where you want to smash monsters, and then the higher the number, the more X's you get to write. So if you just roll 6s and the other person rolls 1s, you win. That's basically how it works. There's a blocking dice as well, so you can block an opponent potentially fine. I mean, it's a print and play. What is it? $3? $4. Ooh, they're going $4. Not $3. It's $4. Inflation. That finishes Thursday, October 16th at 9:51 a.m. I think as far as print and play roll and writes go, it is as good as any of them. Okay, let's see what's happening over here for Gamusinos. It's a strategic, fun, and oh so cute. A filler that mixes drafting and hidden roles. A huntress has invaded our sanctuary looking for the Gamusinos. It's like the Galapagos. In her escape, she unleashed every animal into the wild. Every single one. Now you have to track down the elusive Gamusinos, but no one even knows what they look like. Uh-oh. Find them, bring them home, outsmart the huntress. Okay, you have one type of species. You also have a hidden role, which changes how your animal cards score. Your role only affects how you score your own animal cards, but other players will also score if they collect your animal cards. So grab a type of animal, reveal it, create your set collection. So it's set collection, but you might have you might be collecting different sets. And then at the end of the game, you vote for somebody who is gonna not get to score their role ability. So you just be like, hey, everybody, you don't get to score. It doesn't matter what you were. You don't have to guess. You just get to pick who is the evil person. You're like, you're the evil person, and we don't want you to score. But it's presumably because you think that they've hit their win condition a lot. You're like, that person has the 2 and the 2 and the 2, and I don't know. Seems quick enough, cute enough, fine. It's €15, it's 25 bucks Canadian, and then shipping is going to be what for me? 17 euro. More expensive than the game, naturally. So this isn't something where I want to spend over $50 on, but if it is for you, well, check it out. It's a very simple drafting game. I like that as a potential concept of not knowing who people are, having that modify your points, but I don't know, just killing somebody at the end for no reason. And it seems like it'll probably be obvious as to who is what. But you're also incentivized to get the high cards of other types of cards because you're only going to score for the magic one for your own type. So maybe there's some interest there. I don't think it's going to be bad, but again, not something I'm actively interested or excited about. I think if it's in front of me, I would play it and I'd go, yeah, it's fine. And then that would be pretty much it. Okay, we're going to move on to this one. Notebook Knockout, the tabletop battle royale, a fast-paced tabletop brawl for 2 to 6 players. Strategize when to attack, who to target, and how to keep your next move a mystery. Okay, it's pretty simple. It's another one of these card games where you try to be the last person standing. You have zany things that happen. You draw a bunch of random cards, and then you'll choose who to attack. You flip everything up simultaneously, and then all the effects resolve, and you're like, I didn't have a heal card, so I lose. And it's $30, 43 Canadian, and then shipping 10 to 30 to the US, 22 to 50 to Canada. So you could spend $100 for this game. That finishes Thursday, October 16th at 11 a.m. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to check this out. Cranios expansion pack. 3 original expansions for 3 of our most beloved titles. The gamers wanted them. We created them. Sick. Okay, let's see what these expansions are all about. I like Cranio Creations. I think they're quite good because it's mostly Simone Luciani. I know Virginio Giggli's in there too, but Simone Luciani, so good. Hey, Simone Luciani. Barrage, Golem, and Rats of Wistar. Rats of Wistar. I haven't played any of them, but it gives you asymmetric setups. Fantastic. Already love it. 2 modules for Golem as well, with neutral golems. Those you just get to take a bunch of loans to help you boost yourself right away. And then Barrage, the China Challenge. There's a new company. I thought there was a Barrage Big Box where they put all the companies in there, and now there's a new company? Maybe there was space. There you go. That's the final expansion if you got that huge Barrage box. Jeez. Sure, I think that's great. I think it's awesome. They listen to their backers, they listen to their players, and then the players are like, "Give us these things," and they're like, "Okay." And so they made it, and I'm sure all the expansions will be great if you have the game. Certainly, none of them will be essential because they're all just modular or modules that you can add in. But I think that's great. Everything is looking around €26, 43 Canadian. Probably something you should just wait to get at your local store, but €10 shipping to the US isn't too bad either. So if you're big fans of these games, check them out. I'm sure you've already seen this campaign pop up. But who knows, there's lots of stuff happening in what my patrons are lovingly referring to as Broketober. Broketober. We broke. Thursday, October 16th at 1 p.m. That's when that finishes. Over to this one, Ruinborn, Dungeons of Cabora. With another generic fantasy title with minis that you would expect to have hit, 200,000. So I don't know what it is about this generic fantasy title with minis that hasn't struck the horde of people who seem to buy every generic fantasy title with minis game that's out there. But maybe this is one that you should add to your collection. Ruinborn is a 1 to 4 player dungeon crawler. Who could have guessed that? With solo co-op and competitive modes. Who could have guessed that? Battle foes, find treasures, and complete quests. Sure, first created. Maybe that's why. Sometimes you can get the best deals with first created, though. Collect the most souls in competitive or beat the dungeon together. It's you move, and who knows what you'll uncover. Maybe a bunch of monsters? Maybe a bunch of money. Okay, I can see why people aren't resonating with it, but I want to see if there's anything more to it. I do like this potential of random setup, but when it could just be like, hey, get $5. Hey, fight a monster. I don't know. When everything is random, it can lead to some skewed plays. Even these quests don't seem that interesting. Roll an attack die of 5 or higher twice in a single combat. Or kill 2 creatures without dying in a single turn? Sure. Death is in the end, you're meant to die. You'll just respawn. They want you to have sort of a push your luck element to this because you can move without scouting or move with scouting. Obviously, moving with scouting is going to slow you down, so without scouting is better, but it's more dangerous. Oh, you'll want to have some counter spells at hand. You never know when someone's casting a spell behind your back. Yeah, let's look at the rulebook, but I don't have much hope here, honestly. Oof, no, not for $199. No, thank you. Not for $99 either. The base game is $99. Queen Gloomscent, the Smelly Mutant. It just feels like random the board game, and combat is like just roll a dice. Pretty much it. It seems really basic, very boring. I see, unfortunately, nothing interesting going on here mechanically. Yeah, it's a real miss for me. I don't know where the fun would be if you like uncovering things and having random things just be flipped up in front of you. Maybe if you like the Night Cage, this is the Night Cage of dungeon crawlers. A little bit more complicated because you get, more things happening to you. But that finishes on Thursday, October 16th at 1 p.m. We're going to keep on moving. This is the grand return of Party in the Back. Wait, what? No, that's not what I was... I mean, if you're... What? This is a puzzle for if you love puzzles in the back and puzzles in the front. There's a number of layers in the puzzles. So you get a puzzle, and then a puzzle, and then a puzzle on top, and then another puzzle. Seems cute enough. Bumfuzzled, they've had puzzle campaigns on GameFound before. This is also a campaign that's going on. I clicked on it to look at it, and that's pretty much what it is. Oh, it's from Free League Publishing, eh? Wow. I just clicked on this as well because of the IP. This is the Invincible RPG game. What I really like is that you have a free quick start guide if you want to try before you buy it. There's a 48-page quick start PDF from Drive-Thru RPG. You can get a sensation of what playing in that universe might be. And if you're a fan of the universe, I know that there's been quite a number of Invincible IPs popping up with the deck builder or it kind of replacing the Astro Knights IP. I thought maybe people would be interested in it. If you want the digital core book, it's going to cost you 37 Canadian. Start us at 44 Canadian as well. So you might as well get the main starter set. Oh, because the digital core book and then the digital core book standard is 78, yeah. Or the print version. So if you're interested, again, that's Thursday, October 16th. I just figured I'd mention it. We're moving along to this one, Khromanima. It's Khromanimania. Khromanima. Maybe it's that one. Khromanima. Khromanima. That's it. It's a deck building game, fusion, strategy, and combat in a Super Sentai style deck building game. Super Sentai. Are you ready to fight? Competitive, solo, cooperative. Amazing, because every game needs to have all three. That's one of my pet peeves in board gaming. If I made a video that was like pet peeves in board gaming, it would just be me complaining, which I don't think that would be that fun. All right, in Khromanima, you recruit anemones, colorful mechanical entities, to build a unique and dynamic strategy. You want to build the ultimate warrior. 145 cards, 5 factions, 17 euro. I like that. That's just the core box, your basic game. It's going to come in a very accessible package. Sure, I really like that. Okay. I don't like this giant pilot edition. I like the base, and I'd like to get to the learn how to play section. Okay, how to win. Reduce all your opponent's health points to 0, or raise your own HP to 100. You start with 50 HP. I like that as a potential. You can really go the healing route and race that up. You can go the attacking route. Although if somebody's going the healing route, someone else is going the attacking route, is it just going to really drag on? I don't know. Each player chooses an anima core with color and a unique play style. Take the 10 auxiliary cards. So those are your starting cards. You can be building legs and arms. Okay, you can play animas from your hand onto the field, or you can engage in them in your chromazone and activate your chromazone. Yeah. And activate their effects. If a player has engaged animas, you have to target them first. So you're building up animas in your chromazone. So it's kind of like Hero Realms, I'd say. Hero Realms. I thought I said Hero Quest. When you have 4 engaged animas around your core, you enter Chroma form, an overpowered version with a unique special ability. They're all the same. You get Unichroma. Read the rules. Read the rules and try the game for free. I thought it was read the rules for free. We're unable to retrieve your information. Continue to destination. Very simple 4 stats. Energy, that's buying power, damage attacks the opponent, defense defends you, and health, which seems just like not the full way to win, especially when you start your first game with 30 HP instead of 50. It's clearly pushing you in one direction, right? Okay, there's already like a flaw in the game. When it's like, okay, here you have 4 damage. You can't target the arm, but you can target the leg. The leg has 2 defense, so this person takes 2 damage. Then why would I ever put anything that has a lower defense than anything else that I put? It completely defeats the purpose of building up this thing so I can just defend with one single arm. If you can just target one leg, why would I ever put a defense that is not, it doesn't make any sense. I like the concept. It seems like a very simple deck builder and it is very cheap, but for that reason, I don't know. I'm out. Shipping to France, €10. China, €25. Canada, €21. So it's another $25. It's more expensive than the actual game. I don't know. I think it's a fine concept, but again, why would that be a rule? The fact that that's a rule is silly. That finishes on the 16th at 5:59 p.m. Moving along to this one. Concealed, a solitaire print and play game. Solitaire, fully imagined as a ritual of prophecy. Okay. The base game is 100% free on itch.io. I've heard of that before. I haven't. I was just trying to make an itch joke, like it's a scratching joke, like a disease joke, but I couldn't find it. Maybe it was concealed. You gotta conceal those itches. Oh, dang it. And they're playing like a 007 theme. Oh, because you're concealed. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was still thinking about the disease theme. There's a bunch of different boards which look to have the same thing. Okay. Your goal is to fulfill the prophecy by playing cards around the board. Every turn until you filled the whole board except for 2 cards. You draw rank turn, play suit turn. Oh, a rank turn. Okay, got it. Then you play a suit turn. Then you play addition turn. Okay, so you can add things together. Easy to learn, hard to master. It seems like it's very easy to master because you just play down any card you want. Gameplay. Additional boards. Okay, we're moving on. We're not moving on to SCUM, though, an Eclipse Phase board game, because, again, this is using the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't give free marketing to games that do it. And look at that. Again, it's not the magical be-all, end-all. In fact, it's a bad choice for your marketing. Let's move on. Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We've got a stretch of hopefully good games now until the end. We have Azure and Moytura, 2-player strategy and mythology games. 2 exquisite 2-player games of strategy and mythology by the designers of Undaunted, War Chest, and Mandala. Oh, okay, good. Heavy hitters there. Cool. $39 for Moytura. Invoke legendary deities for battle and control of ancient Ireland. $4 shipping, love it. The Bitewing Games always has that. I think they and the people over at BoardGameTables.com, all play, have such a great bead on that sort of shipping. And then Azure is $29. Okay. Invoke the 4 auspicious beast and channel their energy. Quest for wisdom. That's a great quote saying if you like massive area control games like Blood Rage and Ankh, well, you can like one of them because Ankh's bad. But one perfectly tuned for 2 players. Yeah, it's Ankh. Oh, compact package. Okay. Select a deity tile. Here's how you play. You select a deity tile, and you spend worship tokens to permanently upgrade the deity tile. It seems like there's a black player and a white player with tokens, okay? Expand your followers, battle enemy clans. So you're plopping out people on the board, and then you're fighting on the board in area control. Compete for majority across Ireland. There seems to be a couple factions, all different clans. Check out the rulebook. Yes, please. Gain points by having the most influence across ancient Ireland. Each player controls 1 faction, and the 3 enemy clans act together as a 3rd faction that competes with the players. Okay. For each region, the faction with the most or second most units will score points. At the end of an era, after 2 eras, the faction with the most points wins. 10 rounds. First player's turn, second player's turn, then enemy's turn. Okay, so the more times you pick a specific upgrade tile, the more it's going to generate you, but it will give you less flexibility of movement, I think. Battle's very simple. You just keep on removing them until only one team has units left. So if I have 5 and you have 6, you'll end up with 1, because all the deities do different things. Yeah, cool. And then the enemy turn, you don't know which of the 3 enemy clans are going to activate, so there's a little bit of randomness in those 3 enemy clans. Then you expand the largest group of the revealed clan. So there's some unknown about what you're going to do to take out the enemy clan. You could not target each other. You could target each other in this 2-player game, and you want to go for that scoring using the enemy clan to your advantage. I think this sounds great. Moytura. Yeah, it definitely sounds fun. I think it's a really great idea as a 2-player area control game if you want to get your fix for that. That does seem really nice. And if you get it, you can get the additional 3 new enemy clans. I don't think you have to worry about it. And deluxe poker chips. Ooh, 28. Nice, upgrading all the punch board to like wooden tokens. I think that sounds really nice. And then Azure is 2-player abstract game. You're going to pick a stone, place a stone, spend the required chi cards, collect boons from your chosen space. Oh, aligned stones reduce the card cost. Interesting. Fight for majorities in rows and columns to gain powerful rewards from the beast. Okay, that seems simple enough. Kind of like Go, but with special powers and additional costs. First player to reach the end of the path of wisdom is the winner. Okay, so it's a race in terms of how many benefits you can get. So it doesn't matter if you've got an overarching strategy, it matters about being efficient in turn efficiency. So on your turn, you do the following things in order. You place a stone, you gather boons, you check the auspicious beasts. Every space has a cost. The card cost can be reduced by your other stones that is horizontally or vertically in line. I don't know if you choose a horizontal or a vertical, or if it can happen for both. Oh yeah, it happens for both. 3 in a row, like 3 surrounding. The other one up top here is blocked by a mountain, so these mountains just block your line of sight, essentially. Great example. This is how you do an example to make every single one of your rules clear. I'm like, oh, but what about this? What about this? What about this? You show all of them here. Oh, is there an enemy player? Great, don't have to worry about that. Next to it, up and down, and blocked by a mountain. Like, such a great example. Love seeing stuff like this in rulebooks. It can immediately make like everything click in. You're also getting the benefit of each of the 4 categories by guarding the mountain, which I assume we'll learn what that means. Yeah, see, the Azure Dragon is guarded by all stones horizontally and vertically in line with it, unless blocked by another mountain. Then you own it. The White Tiger is guarded by all stones horizontally and vertically in line with it. The Black Tortoise is guarded by all stones on serpent spaces in all domains. And then the Vermilion Bird is guarded by all stones in the domain itself. And then there's a module where you can have the gifted stones, so they're just stronger, powerful stones. I don't know if there's anything written on the chi cards. It doesn't seem like there is. They could be tokens. I guess you take them to your hand, so people, if they have different backs, I don't know. Not sure why they're cards, because they could just be tokens. But yeah, seems nice dropping down stones if you like if you like stuff like Go or abstract games. That's $29. I think both of these feel pretty reasonable. You can get a bundle of both of them deluxeified for $97. That's 136 Canadian. Or you could just get Azure for 41 Canadian, Moytura for 55. I think both of these look pretty decent. The expansion just makes it 2 of them have bigger boards, which might be interesting. And then includes a tug of war track, which doesn't seem that interesting. You can add some resin beasts if you care. They do look kind of cool. Yeah, and then shipping's $4 to the US or Canada, $9 with no additional charge. It's not bad. I think both of those would be pretty solid, actually. It's not something that I am seriously thinking pulling the trigger of. I mean, it feels like I don't pull the trigger on a lot of stuff, right? It really takes something special in the special category for it to sing, for me to get actively excited about it. Maybe if I played more 2-player only games, and I do play a lot of 2-player games, like I play with Zach just quite a bit, without additional people. I don't know. I think like these are games where I look at them and I am aware that they all look really good. At the same time, I just don't have an interest in them. I think they look solid though. Like likely in pick for you territory, really. I think they do look pretty good. And I think they're going to be well received. So yeah, check it out. It finishes Thursday, October 16th at 9 p.m. Quite nice. Moving along to Secret Societies. This is Shem Phillips, Garphill Games. 2 to 5 players face off as secret societies to auction off the nations of the world. A deep and highly replayable game from Sam McDonald. Great. I love that aspect of Furnace. The aspect of like, this is a bidding game, right? But if you lose your bid, you still get stuff. I think that's great. Yeah, great video. It was a great video. Broke it down very succinctly. 55 US. Oh, I was tempted here. Base game is, so New Zealand 94, Canadian $76 plus shipping. That's probably a bit too expensive for me. I was really tempted with this one though. I love this. Garphill Games always being like, hey, you don't even need to back us, just get it at retail. But essentially this comes down to an auction game with high asymmetry. According to the video, that the asymmetry feels very large, which is great. You're going to bid on cards. You get 2 bids per round on certain cards. You're going to add those cards to your tableau. You're trying to make groups of the same cards. You're trying to hit cards that will be neighbors to other cards, which will give you bumps on this like satellite track, which will give you bonuses. Always love a little track where you can have bonuses. Oh, they do have a rulebook. Okay, sweet. I get pretty much all of it, though. I want to see what the asymmetry is like. I like that you have these bid cards where you also get stuff if you don't get the bid. I don't really like this aspect. It's like, here are the components. Okay, tell me what they do. Like, I know the drones break ties, right? So tell me more about what these people do. Allows us to siphon the wealth of others to repurpose to our own designs, but that's not like mechanics specific. The Tech Bros Secret Society. It's baffling to me that you just have like filler text without specifics on the asymmetry. Yeah, here are the different rules at the back of the, not even like for specifics, go to page 20. Cool, you can bid on things. You can endorse one place that's like, I'm going to win this, or whoever wins this gets more and gives you a boost to being able to get it. And then whoever wins this has to pay you. Love that. Stonesmiths, you get knowledge. Robots, you get to break ties. Aliens add in planets that can be bid on that you have to pay to the main supply and people pay to you. Love that. Reptiles can steal people's cards. Vampires will have charm tokens that help move them. Cool, Illuminati just get to steal money from people's bids that just goes into their pockets instead of the bank. And Tech Bros get sort of small buffs. Yeah, I love the asymmetry of this. I think it's fun. All of this feels fun and slick. If you like bidding games, and I do, this feels like there'll be a lot of nice mind games happening. Really nice. All right, what's shipping to Canada? Canada is $21 US, 35 New Zealand. Yeah, so it's like $100 if I wanted to get this game, which even for having one additional faction, who cares at that point? I would be on the lookout for this when it hits retail. I think it looks like a great little bidding game. It doesn't seem like a crowdfunding purchase, again, because of shipping. But yeah, keep an eye for this at retail when things are on sale. Quite nice little bidding game that finishes Thursday, October 16th at 10 p.m. Moving along to 5 Families, a new game by designer Freedom and Freeze. Frieza, of course, by Queen Games, but I love Freedom and Frieza, so I want to look at this. I don't understand how Queen Games is still in business, y'all. I don't get it. But let's see. New York, the 5 families divide the city's underworld amongst themselves. After a major gang war, the mobsters want to fight more against law and order than against each other and agree on critical decisions for the future. But until the distribution of the city is finalized, each family will try to get as big a piece of the pie as possible. We pick up at Essen, honestly. I might add this to my excited for Essen list. Using your mobsters to make claim on district cards. You take these cards from an open market and you place them in your claim area. Permanently secure a district, you have to take control later on. You paid money, after which the card moves from your control area, and then it provides you to your control area, then it provides you with income and counts for points at the end of the game. When all 3 districts of a colored area are controlled, an area scoring determines who has placed the most mobsters there to receive bonus points. The game ends as soon as control has been taken over all districts. So phase 1, take control. Each card will take out some of your mobsters, and then you can send the other mobsters that don't die with the band-aid symbols back onto the board, basically as a marker of how many mobsters you've invested in the area, and then which will count for the bonuses at the end. Cool, there's only 3 areas, so you really have to invest in the spot so that your car can take over the full area. Interesting. And then your actions, your main actions you can do are claiming cards from the market, so it's kind of another bidding game. Area control-ish, but more bidding. You can take it claim an opponent's card. You basically put more mobsters on the card than they have, or you can... and they get 2 barrels, which I assume they can use on some stuff. Or you can increase mobsters on your card if you think people are coming for them. Or you pass and receive $200 and 2 new mobsters. Then you collect income from everything in your control area. So that's why you control first, then you claim, and then you get income. What can you use barrels for? I don't know. Yes, there is a rulebook though, so I'll find out. Oh, barrels are just wild cards. So barrels can be money, barrels can be mobsters. That's easy enough. And you're incentivized to take things that suck by placing barrels on them. Get points for cards and points for mobsters. Yeah, this looks great. Looks really simple, looks great. How much is Queen Games going to charge for it? Get 5 families shipped to you. Get 5 families Essen pickups. It's about $80 Canadian, €49. €49 doesn't seem too bad. Shipping at Essen is pretty cheap. USA is €20. That makes sense. Canada is €20. Yeah. So it'll be about $100 to get this game. I don't know though. It's definitely one of Queen Games' best offers, and that's because Freedom and Frieza is great. If you're at Essen, keep your eyes peeled for it. I'm going to add it to my list for sure. That finishes Friday, October 17th at 4 a.m. Way to go, Queen Games. You made me very happy with a good game. Next up, we have Mercurial Alchemia. Cultivate flora and brew elixirs in this new standalone game with deck building and worker placement for 1 to 4 alchemists. So I remember Mercurial. This is a new version of it, apparently. I really like the how to play. It's going to be close up to the top. That's good. How to play. Day and night. Each round has 2 phases. A turn-based day phase with worker placement and player interaction, and a night phase with simultaneous card play and potion brewing. Sounds great to me. Day phase. You explore the bazaar. You visit vibrant shops and locations. Trade glimmer shells for exotic flora, fungi, and alchemical supplies. Your actions open opportunities for others. Bumping into another player triggers a friendly handshake, which players may join your action by hiring a courier. So basically the action gets better and you benefit both people by going there is what I'm reading into it. That sounds fun. You want someone to join in, and that therefore to me is like, okay, this game's going to be best at the top number of players, right? That's 100% what that mechanic would mean to me. And then in the night phase, you tend to your terrarium. Your deck is your enchanted terrarium. Okay. Draw cards to harvest ripened flora and fungi, and then play them for magical effects. Basically, you just draw a hand of cards and you play them whenever you want. Adding them into your potion and moving these tracks, we'll find out what those tracks mean, but they're just probably have to deal with like your potion and how balanced it is. So it's distilled. Yeah, give me the rules. Okay, they're dual use, right? You play them for an effect. You infuse them for a different effect. I guess you just want to be pushing on one side of the track or the other, is what it seems like. Cool, okay, yeah. When you go there, everybody there gets the thing that's there. You get to use whoever's there, their special transmuting power, so you can make your stuff a little bit better. So depending upon the person and depending upon what you need at that moment, it might benefit you to make a deal with them. And in return, they're going to get some sort of resource as well, which is sick. Highlight a lot. Sure, one-time bonuses for this Glimmer Snail track. It's just another way to spend stuff and get other things. So you can do the action by putting a person there, but you can also do the action by joining in on an action and paying an additional cost. So there's a lot of flexibility for, hey, does anybody want to join this action? So you don't even have to go later and give the person a handshake. Players who are already there can't do it because they get the handshake bonus, but other players who aren't there have a potential just to use the action if they pay the cost. Sure. So it really feels wide open in terms of action selection. So that's basically what it was, is you can see that there are symbols on the end of either track. Zoom in and see them. Right, so this is the water track, and that's the mountain track, and the leaf track, etc. But over here we have the fire track, which is, opposed to the water track. So if you're infusing things with a potion and you've spent a lot of time infusing fire elements to it, you'll want to do that because you want to get a lot of points on that. You want to have no water element, right? You want to get cards that don't have any water elements because every time you infuse a water element, so you need to make the purple one go up, you're going to be making the fire one go back down. So it's just this sort of tug of war mechanism that they've got going on. Sure, there's a lot of actions going on here, a glut of actions, but really the core of the game is about creating those potions, getting those ingredients to push the potions to the sides that you want it to be. Hopefully you don't get a lot of blight, which will give you negative effects, and then you create a potion and you get all those points and you get all that stuff, and then you kind of rinse and repeat, try to get the most points. The Vile Thorn cards will be added to your deck that are bad things that take up space that you want to destroy, so you have that aspect of deck building as well. Yeah. Dual use cards. I think there's a lot of positives here. Collector's edition is $85, 92 Canadian. It doesn't remind me of Mercurial, but I can't really remember Mercurial, to be honest. And I doubt I will remember this afterwards as well. Oh, there is no retail version. There's just a collector's edition. So that's all you can have. 67 US. 92 Canadian. Gonna upgrade a bunch of the stuff. I don't know if it will be at retail or not. Standard retail edition won't be available for this campaign. Will be released later through our retail partner, Good Games Publishing. Sure, we've chosen this approach to avoid cannibalizing sales from our trusted partner. The upgrades in Collector's Edition are purely cosmetics, so the gameplay experience is the same. Great FAQ. Yeah, I think this looks fine, looks fun enough. It's just if you want the upgrades, shipping is expensive, $28 for just the game. I think probably waiting until this is at retail, you will save 50% of what it would cost. You could get this, for 60 or 70 at retail, and you'll pay double that after shipping and all those additional fees. But if it interests you in paying double for some deluxifications, which you probably could deluxify anyway using your own creativity, well, check it out. The finish is Friday, October 17th at 11:30 a.m. I clicked on this because I was like, oh, it's the Flash Gordon CCG, and it's 34 backers. So clearly It's doing very well. I imagine it's bad. I'm too tired to look into it. But okay, we're moving on. Sorry, that's just how it is. Moving on to this Mission Drive, which is the solo game of the month. Race through the crowded streets as an elite spy, taking down enemy agents without crashing, harming civilians, or running out of time. Gain upgrades, face the final boss, and escape in style. Sure. Okay, race through the crowded streets as an elite spy, taking down enemy agents without crashing, harming civilians, or running out of time. I think I already said that. Yep, that was the tagline. And then I watched the video, and then I said it again. You select your mission difficulty. There will be more cars on the street, or less cars on the street. You'll draw and you use your movement cards to weave in and out of traffic. So going up and to the left. Between missions, upgrade your ride to the latest tech. Oh, I guess the black cars are the spies that you gotta blow up, and then when you blow them up, you can go through. It's like intense rush hour with cards. Card-driven, spy-thrilling rush hour. When you fire your weapon, it can fire into any number of your vehicle's 4 adjacent spaces. Great, you can just upgrade yourself to make your car be better, and then defeat the boss. Hits on all sides of it. Download the rulebook. 2 mission cards to replace end-to-end. Each mission card has 2 sides, green and pink. That's difficulty. Mission 1, green, 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 pink, pink, pink. So you'll always have options about what move you're going to want to make. You're going to have these 3 options. You pick one of these options. Sometimes civilians and enemies will be drawn, and then you have to add them to the board. You can just run over motorcyclists. You can ram into cars, and you can ram into a truck too, but you bounce off and take damage. You can also push off-road if you're really hurting. Yeah, so you got to navigate using the cards at your disposal and then upgrading your weapons to shoot cars down. Sure, seems fun enough. You're moving your little car around, you're firing a weapon, you're moving your car around again in this pattern of things that everyone is traveling at the exact same speed. Every single group of cars travel. They're all on cruise control. Waiting for you, the stunt driver, to drive in and out. So yeah, their shipping's always good, $5 or $6 to Canada. However, I have heard a lot of reports that you do have to pay a bunch of tariffs in the US. Even though Gabe was like, you don't have to pay tariffs, you do. So just FYI, for those who have gotten other solo games of the month, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've been hearing from you all in the comments. So that finishes on the 18th at 12 a.m., the 18th being Saturday. Also finishing Saturday, this is Battlecrest Overlord, a new co-op game, and Dreadrock base game. Introducing an all-new co-op boss battle against the Overlord Eterna, new heroes, and the harsh wastelands of Deadrock, 1 to 4 players. I thought that this existed. Oh, okay, so it's a new base game, but the base game is the same game. This is another button-shy game where clearly it's been doing well. That they wanted to do more different bases. There's going to be a map, there's going to be enemies, you're going to have action cards with different landmarks, and so they're just expanding upon it. Each one of these has been a standalone, but they're all cross-compatible together. I think I've talked about this before. I think it seems all right. A little skirmishy style game. Button shy games are, you can get all the new stuff, wow, for $30, or you can just get it as print and play for $5 and see if you like it. Because this Overlord, this new 18 card game is just the Overlord, and so you need to get the base game as well if you want to fight this big old boss that they're adding into the mix. As always, sort of button shy. It's either going to hit you or it won't. I think this has been around a while. I don't remember being blown away by it. I never am really blown away by button shy games because they're all kind of come down to 18 cards, but I have now tried one of them, Wonder Tales. Well, I've tried 2 in Skulls of Sedlic. Shout out to Todd. And Wonder Tales. Shout out to Paloma. We got to shout out every button shy person who's introduced me to them. Yeah, I think they're okay. I think they're just basic, right? They're fillers. They're throw them out on a table. The price is generally right if you live in the US, and if you live anywhere else, it's not. So if you're interested, the finish is Saturday, October 18th at 10:30 a.m. All right, moving along. Speaking of rolling rights, we weren't, but we were. Speaking of printed plays, we have Star Smugglers. Get your ship combat ready and set off on an interplanetary contraband adventure. Roll and write, print and play, sci-fi, solo co-op, PvP. It's everything, baby. It's everything. Pick the best route and avoid patrols. Traffic contraband between planets. Upgrade your ship. Don't forget about them side quests. Solo co-op, PvP is in development. It's a solo game. Pretty good gig. This is all profit, really, other than whatever percentage Kickstarter takes. An easy-to-learn space adventure that turns every roll into high-stakes action, built on refined combat system I invented earlier. The gameplay is faster, sharper, and more thrilling than ever. You'll dodge raiders, push your luck through dangerous routes, and dive into side quests while upgrading your ship and managing your crime level. GTA Space! Trade with allies, clash with rivals, and survive as long as your force field holds out. All wrapped in a lightweight roll and write design that feels like a wild ride through the stars. Here are the things you're smuggling. Caviar. Of course, space caviar is in high demand, didn't you know? Weapons, naturally. Coke! But the can version, but the legally distinct can version, and crystals. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna have a. Ugh. So everywhere along your route, they're gonna have certain things you can try to roll. You got 2 dice. You try to roll to see if you can get ahead of raiders, but sometimes you won't be able to. You're picking up stuff and you're delivering it to stuff as you go along. So each one of these spots is just how you travel along there, and you're expending maybe fuel. I don't know. Yeah. Sure, if that seems interesting to you, check it out. The finish is Saturday, October 18th at 6:03 p.m. Okay, next up we have Timeless Journeys, the Italian Grand Tour, the relaunch. Craft your grand tour in Italy, collect art and ideas, meet iconic travelers, and master strategy with chain actions and deck building. Okay, I'm intrigued by that little video. Seems like a very simple attend a spot, get a thing, pick up and deliver style. A new game by Nestor Mangone, Darwin's Journey, also on Darwin's Journey. Darwin's Journey was also Simone Luciani, right? Yeah, because, man, it's so good. Oh, I gotta get a copy of this. Gimme. Go to spots, fill up your travel journals. At the heart, the game blends deck building, card chaining, set collection, and route plan. Travel, friendship, and inspiration cards let you journey across Italy, meet locals, gather ideas, and commit them to your journals. Get in my book and put them in a jar. Jarman's back.
Jarman sounds a lot like the Whisperer. The Whisperer is here as well.
Of course, Whisperer. We thought you were forgotten about, but you're still here. Oh, yeah, okay. I have an Elder Scrolls review plan that I haven't filmed yet, but should be out this week. And you know who's going to be there. I'm probably filming that today as this video comes out. So you have a chance for me to not put them in.
I've got many things to whisper about.
Okay. Duel with Lord Byron. I don't know why you're dueling with Lord Byron. Lord Byron wrote so many things. He was a bit of a rake, too. Maybe that's why you're dueling with him. Collector's Edition is €75. Standard Edition is €45. I like that. 73 Canadian. Still gonna be $100 for me, but still. Custom insert probably isn't that good, so just make your own. I like that delayed element as well. You can drop down letters, and then when you play a letter card or a conversation card, you can activate those letters because you're talking to your friends. I am curious about the finer details. Gimme. Okay, score the most victory points. You get them from cafe discussions, famous encounters, favorite tiles, exploration. What's the flow of this game, though? Like, what are the actions you get to do on your turn? You're getting cards and you're playing a card that will decide the action, right? Everybody gets different travel journals, too. So some things that 1A and 1B. So they're essentially balanced, but they're not going to the same things. Okay, cool. So every place you visit, you can do the thing. You're going to be able to talk to somebody there, right? You can always do every action in a spot. It's just, do you want to be doing the actions in that spot, or do you want to be going to a different place to do those different actions? Okay, cool. So you're deck building in the sense that if you buy cards of the same color, you get to activate them again and take their actions as you play through your cards, or you can go for cards that are more valuable and do better stuff. Ideally, you want to get both. You can always access the market, it seems, so I think that's great. Having 8 different markets would be a little too complicated. The special people will move around. Yeah, all right. Okay, you'll have to move to different places. You'll always have to get the movement. Sometimes it'll cost you. Exploring gives you one-time abilities. The earlier you get to a town, the better the abilities are because you can choose from a bunch more. Having a conversation is just like, there are items you can get at a spot and you will get those things. And they vary from locations. You can also then interact with famous traveler. Or you can duel with whoever. It depends on where they are. Okay, got it. Gaining tokens that you want to collect, set collection, going to certain spaces. I like this idea of bouncing around from town to town, getting different things as it goes through. I think the action chaining of the card, that building up your actions can potentially have the feeling of fun and feeling pretty powerful if you're able to chain things together in the right color. That's a potential excitement there. It really is about traveling between these spots. So I think route planning is going to be a major element to it. I know they said it would be deck building and route planning. Route planning feels like it is the number one thing that you should like if you want this game, and then the other action economy is another sort of style of game as well. €45, 73 Canadian for the base game. You can do multiple copies Group buys, nice, love that. And then shipping is €15 or €20. €20 to get to me. Again, it'll be about $100. Lyrius Games also did Age of Comics. Oh, and tried to do this before, and then it was canceled. See, that's why we cover things in the final week, so we see them when they're ready. I'm happy that this one is funded now. That's great for them. Who knows about the efficacy of if this is going to be in retail or not? If it isn't, I'm not too worried about it. Seems okay. I think the route planning seems fun and the different locations seem fun. But yeah, that finishes Monday, October 20th at 5:59 p.m. All right, and finally, we have Uprising, the legendary big box, and true solo mode. The Epic 4X co-op returns now with the true solo mode and the legendary big box. I am very tired right now, but I do want to look at this. So there's a lovely video that says Learn Uprising in 6 minutes, which maybe we will watch and maybe we will learn. I remember Uprising Curse of the Last Emperor it was on my list of games that I would get right now, that I would steal from people. I thought it looked really interesting, and I'd heard really good things about it. It had done a very good campaign before, and it has been talked about positively. And there's a lot of this to be excited about, especially the big box from Hextra, which I want to like shout out and get really excited about. But yeah, let's watch this video and see. Oh, it's Brother Murph. 6 minutes. Yeah, okay. They do a really good job at breaking down a lot of rules in a short time. Yeah, it still seems sick. It still seems sick. Here are the things that I like. I like that there are two. It's a co-op 4X game. It's a co-op where you're expanding and establishing your bases and getting income and getting more and more troops on the map, so you can fight two people who are fighting you. There are two people who are fighting you, and this is going to introduce a new true solo mode, so you don't have to worry about like dual handing or dual wielding different factions. I like that there are two people fighting you. I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool that you have to beat both of their scores, and that it's essentially just a point scoring game. You're going to get points for taking things over, holding the line, you know, all that sort of stuff. I like that there's a bunch of different factions, that you have a special hero who doesn't attack people but gives you benefits. I like even the amount of actions that you get to take on a turn. You know, there's some games which are really tight, and they're like, you take one action and it's 4 rounds, and that one action is comprised of 17 different parts, and you go through all of them, and then your one round is over, and you have 4 of those rounds, and you're done. You're like, I only get to take 5 actions a game, and you're like, wait a minute, I do everything all the time. I really like games that kind of break it down for you anyway, give you maybe more of an illusion of choice, and give you that 8 action idea as well. This game is not gentle. You will lose. You will love it. Again, that's another thing that draws me in. I really like punishing co-ops. I like games that are a challenge. And I like games where winning feels euphoric. They're getting a bunch of different stretch goals, all 3 rulebooks into a ring-bound rulebook to rule them all. They just have all of these special releases for stretch goals, timed releases. I like that the enemies fight each other too. I think that's funny. As long as it's not too much upkeep, right, and you're just watching the gameplay itself, but I don't believe it is. Combat seems pretty simple as well. There's 3 symbols on dice: attack, defense, and special. And I like the 4, it's like Red Cathedral in that regard, where there are 4 cards, abilities that you can use on each of the corners of the board. I think that's neat. Replace most of Mage Knight Spirit Island Too Many Bones for us. Yeah, sweet. Uprising Pledge, 129. That's pretty good. And then there's the Legendary Pledge for 499. Woof. I'm sure there's a bunch more, because that's just the bundle. Oh, the Solo Upgrade Pack. Try the Solo Faction Tray, the new unit feats cards. The reprint, Uprising Pledge. The base game will contain, everything will contain the True Solo. See, Berserk learned from that. Just include True Solo in your friggin' game. Or you can pay more just for the big box. But I do want to shout out Nemesis Games, and I want to shout out Hextra specifically, which if you saw my Elder Scrolls insert, well, Hextra sent that to me. He was like, hey, I'm really proud of this insert that I've created, and has done a lot for like the 3D printing and the design community. There's a lot of people. Hextra has been a long time supporter of the channel, long time member of our Discord, and there's a lot of people who are doing wonderful, awesome things with inserts in the channel as well. I've shouted out JS500 before as well. I've shouted out a few of them. But what I think is really cool is that like Hextra has always liked Uprising. I think he backed the first time, and he converted like a trove chest style into his Uprising storage solution. And so he's always been really good at 3D printing. And so he shared that in the Nemesis, in the Uprising Discord, and the developers recognized his value and were like, listen, help us make our big box. And I think that's awesome. Because there are other developers who I know when people share their designs or whatever, they go like, we'll do our own. And then they do a worse version. No shade, but probably Chip Theory Games. But so I think it is really friggin' great and it shows a publisher that listens to their community, that actively listens to their community, that recognizes really good things, and that gets people on board from the community to help make the thing even better. And so, like, I think I think everybody on board should be commended. I think Hextra's designs are awesome. I was playing with Zach. Oh, look at that beautiful rising sun in the background. Yes, this picture feels like it. And Everdell over here? Come on. This picture feels like it was made for me. My 2 favorite games. But just that concept of working with the community and also working with people who are worried about getting it to the table, with streamlining efficiency of getting this large game in a more playable way, I think it's awesome. Now, you don't have to get the big box. You don't. It's going to be cool. You never have to get a big box, and it would take up a bunch on your shelf. But I love companies who are invested in getting their games to the table. I was really tired this entire crowdfunding countdown. I've been very hard to focus. It's taken me a long time to get through some of the rule books, and just thinking about this has revitalized me and has really energized me actively. And it's 11 at night. So yeah, I think it's so cool. I think it's so great when they work with people who are good at what they do and they recognize that, and people from the community. And I know Hextra was just like excited to share that sort of stuff too. And so I just think that's really great. Very, very exciting. Yeah, now I have to decide if I'm getting this. Because I did say that it was on my top 10 things that I would consider getting. The thing that is stopping me right now is I have a very large shelf of shame. I have a large shelf of shame that I'm working my way through, and that is filled with large boxes as well. And so I fear it would be irresponsible for me to get this. Like, my goal is to get through all my big boxes and to stop saying yes to review copies, and to just, like, for me personally as Chris, like, every time I take a review copy, that pushes something else that I want to learn way to the back of the queue, because like I want to be more timely with review copies. And my shelf of shame is growing out of control, and I don't like having incomplete stuff, and I want to play the things that I own. But I'm really interested. I have been interested since way back. Like, it's one of these games that has sort of stuck with me. I like how difficult it is. I like how seemingly simple it is to get to the table. I don't think the rules are that difficult. I think the interactions are going to be a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be that much overhead, or certainly less overhead than other games that I have. I mean, to be fair, it's 60 pages. I want to see how, like, the little weeds are. I like different colored dice. We know this. You want different colored dice, Vault Boy. I don't know. Seems like it's got different colored dice. Some effects reference an empty hex. This is a hex that has no havens, units, or curses, but could contain a hero. Because remember, even heroes are empty inside, and it's okay. Yeah, I wonder how much upkeep there really is, you know, with the two different factions. Okay, your actions: move, trade, spend an action point to gain assault. Heroes on the same hex during the trade action can also freely give or take resources. So you get assault, you get to trade as well. I like having a little bonus to your trade action, or that you can use it when you're not around somebody. It's a nice resource conversion. Probably the most inefficient way to get stuff, but command, you move everybody into one spot, but then it ends your turn as well. So you want to make sure you get that salt before you do it. Explore, you're flipping over new tiles. Haven, building havens. Yeah, pretty standard 4X actions. I like that you're revealing sections. Oh, it's just what it costs. Oh no, that's the production. Yeah, I love revealing production under your buildings. Terra Mystica, you got it right. Market. Oh, they all say an end your turn. Okay, so it doesn't end your full round, but you just take an action and somebody else go. You get to boost your hero up with a 10 card limit. That's sick. You're gonna have a bunch of powers that you can forget about. Ah, I see. So quests are pretty easy. You just assemble a dice pool, you roll, and you hope you hit one of these things, which is likely to happen. But sometimes you need to hit 2, sometimes you need to hit 3. And when you do, you get a bonus. Sure. That's it. Yeah, very easy, easy to understand rules, which I like. I know I said I wasn't going to read the whole rule book, but I've read half of it pretty quickly. Okay, cool. So you're going to have a set number of activation tokens on the baddies, and they can be generated by things that you do to make them activate more. I like that it's not a standard amount of activations. I think that's actually pretty interesting. You don't know the flow of the horde, and obviously they'll get more and more active as you go through the game as well. That seems cool. Then you produce, and then you score, which the Empire, Chaos, and you will score as well. After the the last chapter is over, so after the last round is over. And then each standee is going to show the dice on it. You roll those dice, you fight each other, and you gain points. Everybody gains points. This feels slick. Feels fun of getting swarmed by a bunch of people. I like that variable activation, like I was saying. I think it looks cool. It's very expensive. I mean, it's $185 for the reprint. For me in Canada, it's $130 total. And then shipping to Canada is $29. That makes sense. Shipping to the US is $25. But yeah, I think it definitely, if you like 4X, if you don't have a bunch of games on your shelf or on your floor that you haven't played, I'm not really considering it because my backlog is too much. And I honestly feel overwhelmed by the amount of games that I have and that I need to get through. Also, for me, it's like I'm coming into October. I've just been on the road essentially for 4 months. So coming back to my collection and to things that I wasn't able to bring and that I have to, review obligations for or whatever. I've got a lot to do. My eyes are always bigger than my stomach, and I have to remind myself to just chill sometimes. But I think it looks really cool. I think it looks cool, and I recognize it's going to take a year and a half to get back to me, but I think it's not good anticipating that you'll have extra time. You have to create a lifestyle which gives you that extra time before you can anticipate that extra time. But if you're interested, that finishes next Tuesday, the 21st at 11 a.m. And that is it. That is it for the week. Now, every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing I think is the most exciting mechanically, and the pick for you being the thing I think if you got, you would regret the least. And there's a lot of good choices this week. So let's go through them one after another with a little crowdfunding countdown. Crowdfunding countdown to remind ourselves of what came before. Meh. Meh. Definitely. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. Meh. Nah. No. Sure. No. Meh. Nah. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. Meh. Nah. Meh. And yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. I have to make the pick for me Uprising if I ever want to be consistent with my messaging and honor that top 10 list that I did a while ago and make it seem like I'm not a liar to you all. So I think Uprising is the pick for me. I'm not going to get it, but I think it does look really cool. And pick for you is tough. I'm going to give it to Secret Societies at retail. Don't pay for shipping. Get your local game store to do it for you. You'll save money. They'll get a group buy. Everybody wins. So Secret Societies, I think the bidding here seems intriguing to me. I don't think it's going to be that complicated. I think it looks cool. Really, Moytura and Five Families also were pretty close, realistically. But it goes to Secret Societies, I think, and then pick for me is Uprising. But a good week, a really good week. I hope you all are having a good week. I am hopefully having a good week as well. It's in the future. Who knows? I think I will be. Thanks for being here. As always, let me know what I missed, what you're excited about, what I got wrong. And yeah, thanks for watching, sticking around, supporting the channel, doing all the YouTube stuff. This was a bit of a slog of a week. I'm not going to lie to you. But we finished with a nice one, finished with a bang. And hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about board games, we're hanging out, so it's pretty fun. Thanks for watching. My name's Chris George. Oh no, I don't have a catchphrase. Oh, I don't know what that was. But it's almost Halloween, so stay spooky.